Good evening. I'm excited to bring Anchor Winter Wheat out to try. So this is actually a new release. It's available from November through January, and it's first brewed in 2014. So brand new, and it's a dark wheat beer. So this falls into the BJCP category of light hybrid beer. In subcategory 6D for American wheat or rye beer. And it's always important in this category that the maker specify whether or not it is wheat or rye. And so in this case, it is a wheat beer, but it's all dark grains. And there was interesting information available on the website about this particular beer, what grains they were using, where they came from, things like that. So it's 7% alcohol by volume. So this is a heavy hitter, which we see a lot in winter beers. So this will be enjoyable. So aroma-wise, I get a lot of sweetness out of this already. It is sweet, grainy, almost has a spicy character to it, which makes it very interesting. I really want to give this a try. So appearance-wise, it's definitely dark, and through the light, I really don't even get a red reflection. It's pretty opaque. It did not pour with a lot of head. What was there did dissipate pretty quickly, but it does look like it's lightly carbonated, maybe not heavily. So we'll see. So into flavor. Definitely grainy. It actually kind of reminds me of a porter almost, but it doesn't have that kind of dry finish. So what we're looking for in this particular style of beer is light to moderately strong grainy wheat, which can linger into the finish. May have malty sweetness and a dry and finished dryly. So that is appropriate for this particular beer. The graininess, which is very strong, definitely lingers into the finish. There's really not a lot of hop bitterness to this. Pretty much not getting hops at all. Maybe a little bit in the aroma if I think hard enough about it. So there's no clove flavors, there's no fruity flavors. It's really all grain. And so when I compare this to a standard wheat beer like a Hefeweizen, it's dramatically different because it's very intense, roasty. So that, in its own sense, kind of gets away from the style, because it should have like a light wheat flavor. And I don't want to say light wheat meaning that it's a light flavor, but that wheat is a lighter flavor than this is coming across. This is definitely deep, roasty. Almost has a coffee-like character, a little bit of bitterness at the end. And according to the BJCP style guidelines, the color is inappropriate, but we knew going into it that it was a winter wheat, so it was a little bit something different. So for this particular style, the alcohol by volume would be 4 to 5.5%, and so this one coming in at 7%. Those two characteristics, the color and the alcohol by volume range, and a little bit of a heavier flavor, kind of push it into that specialty winter category. But it's not a winter spiced beer, which is why I was judging it by the American wheat category. So overall impression, mouthfeel. It has a pretty strong mouthfeel to it. It's smooth, and it finishes just really nicely. It has almost a crisp finish, which is interesting because that's what I associate with a wheat beer. And so that respect, it's definitely like a wheat beer. Um, and the crispness in the finish really gets rid of all the graininess that you taste during the tasting portion of it. So the finish is really nice. Mouthfeel wise, it's definitely lightly um, carbonated, but pleasantly so. Um, let's see, what else is there to say about it? Overall impression. This is actually a really great beer. I wasn't certain what to expect out of a winter wheat. Normally, wheat beers are served in the summer because they tend to be lighter, but this is perfect, I think, for winter. I like the dark color. I like the dark kind of flavor profile that it gives. So I definitely recommend if you can get your hands on the Anchor Winter Wheat that you should do so. Um, so I think that covers all the bases. I was going to read the comments about it, but it says refreshing wheat or rye beer that can display more hop character and less yeast character than their German cousins. So that's what we see traditionally in American brews, is they are a little bit more hop forward. But I think that this is done really well, where we're not getting that high hoppiness, that it's very well balanced. And there's a lot of grainy wheat character flavor coming through, and so it's true to its name. Um, dark versions of so this is interesting. So different variations exist, from an easy drinking, fairly sweet beer to a dry, aggressively hopped beer with a strong wheat or rye flavor. Dark versions approximating Dunkelweizen, with darker, richer malt flavors in addition to color, should be entered into the specialty beer category. So technically, it should be in the specialty beer category because it doesn't fit the style guidelines. Um, so um, I would have to flip through and find the specialty category that goes with. So let me do so real quick, if I can do so quickly. The problem with putting things into the specialty category is that there's so much room for interpretation, that it's hard to um, judge based on yeah. So dark American wheat beer goes into the specialty category. Um, and so what we're looking for are all the characteristics of the base category, but taking into account the differences in the brewing styles or techniques. And so here they're using the darker grains, so we're going to get a darker, grainier, more robust flavor out of it. And I think robust is what I was thinking when I was thinking that it kind of had a porter flavor to it. So it's very robust flavor. The darker color of the beer that we're seeing, and then also the higher alcohol content. So that takes it out of the standard style and into a specialty beer category. Overall, I think they really did a great job with this beer. It's very drinkable. I love it, and I'm really glad that I came across it. I happened to find a single um, bottle at Trader Joe's, and I'm assuming that they sell 6-packs, but I was making my own, kind of just picking and choosing to find some things to do reviews on. So that was quite a score, and I think I'll be going back to Trader Joe's soon to get a whole 6-pack. So great beer. I definitely recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Anchor puts out some great stuff, and so very enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching. Share with me down below if you have any thoughts about it. I'd love to hear what you think about this particular beer. And thanks. Have a good night.